First cheers on recording.
Bloody.
The ice went
Beautiful.
straight through my, straight in my mouth.
That's why you put your drinks in a fridge before you actually have them.
Yeah, don't you love a warm beer?
Nothing better. I mean, better than drinking hot drinks in this weather. This episode is brought to you by Nondescript Beer Company.
Yeah.
You want us to have a specific brand of beer on the pod? Bloody pay us.
And we'll do it. That being said, I'm glad we don't have any symptoms of corona in this booth.
Yeah, nothing corona related in this booth. Anyway, hit that intro.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Implications of Phineas and Ferb podcast.
There's 365 days in a gap year, and uni's gonna come and end it. So the once in a lifetime problem for us is find a good way to spend it. Making a podcast.
Got a bit of an episode going on. Got a bit of a bloody episode
I
of
don't know
Phineas
why I
and Ferb
didn't
to
say
discuss.
anything just then, but yeah.
Yeah, there was like a second of awkward silence as we just looked at each
Are you
other.
going to go? Am I going to go?
Who's
Usually
starting?
You go. I didn't gesture to you though, so...
This is what happens when you don't plan your podcast
This is
out.
what happens when you put a beer in my hand and a microphone in front of my face.
I've just gone full chilled out mode at this point because, Aussie summer.
See, Aussie Summer hasn't started yet.
It feels like it started.
You know when it started?
When?
When it's my birthday.
All right, December 1st.
Wow, rip
Yep.
me.
I know when your
But
birthday
technically
is.
our summers start, just after winter? Actually,
Yeah.
during winter these days. And then our winter starts during spring.
Don't be offended that I almost forgot your birthday there. Yours is one of the 4 birthdays,
Yeah,
including
I know.
my own, that I actually remember.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I'm down with the whole... I remember a few birthdays.
I remember yours and I don't remember my father's.
I remember yours for the Xbox password to your Xbox,
Yep, so that you can get into
so I can get into it.
Get into it.
Okay.
Let's talk about the actual show that this podcast is about.
Which is Phineas and Ferb,
Love
which
to
is
see it.
season 2, episode 6, and which is Perry lays an egg, gaming the system.
Fun episodes, both of them.
I liked both of them.
I enjoy them. They are the first episodes this season, ironically, that I feel like have felt like season 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's distinctly season 2.
Because season 1, is your classic adventures and your good times and all that sort of stuff. And then season 2 is where it starts breaking the formula in these interesting ways, but not
Candace's
gone
invention
full crazy.
gets seen, sort of thing. But Phineas and Ferb still built it.
Yeah, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And then season 3...
But it hasn't actually built the tropes yet, which season 3 does with the self-destruct button. We still haven't seen that.
Exactly. Season 3 is when it starts getting meta, and then season 4 is just mental.
Yeah.
And that's when they start doing the big events and the multi-parts and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and we're about to get Chronicles of the Meep, which is next
Chronicles
episode.
of Meep is a great bloody episode of the pod. Alrighty, so this episode starts off, the boys laser the sun.
Yeah.
That's just to start off. The first 10 seconds, they laser the sun. They're like, we're going to heat the day up a bit, make it a bit warmer.
They wanted to make the sun the brightest sun it could be or something. What was it? The sunniest day ever. They wanted to make the sunniest day ever.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the laser does?
See, because if you were trying to make it a sunny day, you'd change the atmosphere. You'd change the clouds.
Yeah, you'd get rid
and
of
shit.
clouds.
Yeah.
The sun doesn't really play much of a part, but if you were wanting to make the day sunnier, and that is to not remove the clouds but actually shoot the sun, you'd actually have to play with what stage the sun was in.
Sun has stages.
Yeah, suns have stages.
All right, educate me on this. What the hell's a stage?
Oh, fuck, this is like physics. Anyway, suns have stages. All different suns are suns. All different
we're talking
types of suns. Yeah.
Red dwarf, white dwarf, that
Neutron
sort of...
star, exploding, not exploding, red dwarf. Ours is the sun. It's in the middle sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, you know what's a good baseline for a star? The one we called the star, our sun.
That's... Human setting baselines off what their planet is like has universally led to things being stupid when it comes to classification. For example, we're like, it's a moon if it looks like our moon. And if it's a planet that looks like a different planet, it's a planet. And then we realized that
There's other
Pluto
moons.
was like the size of Russia, and our moon was... Is our moon bigger than Pluto?
I don't think so. I think Pluto is slightly bigger.
But still, that you run into issues.
And also other planets have moons.
Yeah.
And what do you call those? Well, you give them normal names. So what's our moon? The moon.
The moon. Our moon needs a name. We should name the moon. The moon's name is now Jeremy because it's named after the most handsome man.
All right, I'll pay that. I'd look up into the sky and say, God, the Jeremy's looking good tonight. The
As he
Jeremy's-
always does.
It's a full Jeremy tonight.
full Jeremy.
It's facing out tomorrow. That'd be good. Anyway, stars have stages. Do you think they changed the stage of the star, i.e. the size and or heat?
I think they were going to, and then I think they came to the conclusion that it was already a pretty perfect day, and they're like, well, that's chill.
Well, that's convenient, because if they messed with the star in nearly any way,
We'd die.
yeah, we're already struggling keeping ourselves cold. Have you been to Australia? It's very hot. I don't want it any hotter.
Can confirm it's rather hot in Australia right now.
We're
it's
not,
not
even in
even-
summer, and we're.
Oh, it's gonna get worse.
We're
I'm
over
so
30.
not excited.
I don't know how to cool my house. Yes, I have poor cooling in my house. Yes, my PC's going to burn up. Am I upset? Yes.
The fan in my room is broken, so I have no way of cooling my room because it's really far away from the other areas that get cooled in our house. So I'm just gonna move my bed out to the studio as I do every year. It's becoming a tradition.
Yeah, I'm just going to move. I can't
Yeah,
now,
fair.
though, because it's COVID.
Yeah, love to see it.
Stuck in a hellhole of Australia.
So they think that Perry's laid an egg.
Yeah. It leads to what I think is a great line.
Mm-hmm.
An even better line if you actually end it for them. They're like, oh, congratulations, Perry. Oh, boy, you're going to be a proud mother. He's a mother. If he laid an egg, he's a mother.
But also, they're keeping with the consistent thing, which is Perry is kind of both genders at once.
He
Because he sweats milk. and he's-
does, but Jeff, I'm pretty sure in our interview, by the way, you should probably listen to that.
Yeah, did you know that we talked to Jeff Swampy Marsh?
I didn't know
Fucking
that.
incredible, right?
I got that happened.
Yeah, you had a conversation.
I thought
yeah.
I dreamed that. I honestly thought that was a dream because it was such a cool thing to happen to anyone.
Yeah, and why would such a cool thing happen to two
Aussie weirdos.
just drinking a beer in a booth talking about a cartoon that they're too old to watch?
We should quote that.
That's Instagram bio, right?
That's going on the merch.
there. Yes.
But yeah, anyway, he would be a mother if he laid an egg. They said he's not transgender though, so Perry is male. Phineas and Ferb don't quite catch on then. They just,
They're just like, yeah, whatever.
well, if it's an egg next to Perry, he's obviously
With
laid
their
one.
take it as they come attitude, that doesn't surprise me.
And we should probably correct, just in case people are confused. Yes, platypuses lay eggs. Yes, they're monotremes. They're one of the only technically mammals that lay eggs.
Yep.
Which makes them a monotreme.
That's why they're not a mammal.
And there's
because
two of them
they're
in
a
the
monotreme.
world. One's an echidna, also lives here. The other one's a platypus.
And we love to see it. Australia has some pretty cool and weird wildlife.
We
and it's
really do.
Awesome.
There's birds, reptiles, mammals, and two weirdo animals in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Classic.
So Perry, in the meantime, he's going off to stop Doof, and he gets his hair all sucked off as he gets vacuumed into the secret base.
Yeah.
And we got a beautiful shot of
Beautiful
monogram.
screenshot.
Of bald monogram.
No,
moustache-less
he has no
monogram.
monogram. He has,
He
he's
has
no,
no eyebrows.
He has no eyebrows. So he has no monobrow. So it's no longer monogram.
He's just Graham.
He's just Graham. Graham. Short for Graham.
That's his real name.
That's his real name. We've cracked the code.
It's not
Graham.
Francis.
It's
Graham.
Graham.
So, meanwhile, Candace is too lazy to change the channel,
Mhm.
and Candace is watching a nature documentary, and she gets really invested in some baby turtles doing their thing.
To be fair, of all the stories nature has to tell, that is one of the scariest and saddest. Do you know what happens?
What?
So, the mother turtle, she's like big and old, yo, and she's like, time to lay some eggs. Goes onto the beach and lays them on the beach because it's warmer, I think. And also because they're mammals, they need to breathe air in their first few
Imagine
seconds.
seeking out warmth.
Yeah.
Can't relate.
So she can't lay her eggs in the water because they'll just drown. I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's why. Anyway, in the sand, buries the eggs. Anyway, she has to leave. Okay. When they hatch, they have to get into the ocean because they're not really land animals. But there's things that will eat them because they're yummy and small. And so there's this desperate little march that happens every single time, where you watch these tiny little beautiful turtles crawl all the way to the ocean and get eaten. Like, some get eaten, some survive, some live. These things are not, like, populating the earth. We need more of them, and it's just so sad.
I mean, I get why all the other animals want to eat the babies, because, like, if lamb has taught me anything, it's that the babies are the tasty ones.
Hell yeah.
I should probably cut that. That's quite nasty, but also...
What do you mean?
It's true. Like,
It
come
is
on,
true.
lamb is...
Lamb is better than mutton.
Yep.
That's why the saying goes, it's mutton dressed as lamb. Like, mutton... Is that what it's called?
Lamb dressed as mutton?
No.
Oh,
Mutton... Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, the
saying-
implication is lamb tastes better.
Yeah, that's the conclusion we're coming to here.
Yep.
So Candace won't change the channel, and she
Fair
sees
enough.
Perry's egg, and she's like, "Oh my god, I've got to save the egg from the boys because the boys
She's
build
getting really emotionally
invested." Yeah,
in
and
these
fair enough.
little turtles. Fair enough.
She, pardon me,
Smooth.
very smooth.
Real smooth.
I'm not gonna cut that.
No,
That was
you better
funny.
not cut that. I want it on
off.
my soundboard. I want to be like... "Bleh."
So Candace is invested. So when she sees Perry's egg, she's like, "The boys can't take care of this. I'm gonna take care of this." She's wrong. The boys were taking great
They
care
were
of it.
smashing it out of the
They
park.
built a giant Perry butt to take care of
Yeah,
it, to heat it.
and
to-
it had the perfect temperature,
Mhm.
and it had that other music, like it played Perry noises. I don't know how good Candace is at playing Perry noises, but I can tell you now she's not as good as that machine.
That's what she got to do.
Oh, hang on, don't we have it? Oh.
We do have it.
No, we got rid of it.
There it is.
Oh, wow. How did I not see
It says
that?
Perry noise and everything.
Yeah, okay.
Mm.
I can't do that. Perry can. Candace can't. Anyway, so she comes out in
Mm.
a Perry costume.
Yep. The Perry butt would be better.
Yeah, for starters, we've acknowledged that Phineas
Mm.
and Ferb's incubator and everything they had, even if it is mechanical and doesn't have a heart,
Would be better.
it would be better. It
But
was going to
then
work.
We get
No,
a beautiful moment where they're like, all right, we'll get rid of the incubator. So they just like press a button. And the incubator folds up into a little bit of metal that's like
like a coin
smaller
size.
than their
nearly.
palm, like coin size. And I'm like, how in the fuck does that work? That is some Tony Stark shit right
That
there.
is worse than Tony Stark. That is like you've got this huge thing that they were both driving in and then folds it up into. Can you imagine pulling a card out of your wallet and it folds out to be your Tesla?
I'm imagining it and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying the
I
image.
did this that would be so much fun. You could just be like, no time, we don't need an Uber. I've got this, and you just like throw the card and it just
Elon, if you're listening, and I know you do.
$69,420 for the Tesla Model S. Now, even though we're not sponsored by Tesla, I am happy to say that because
So
what a meme.
Elon, you love a good meme. We will sing the praises of every Tesla for $69. Very cheap for a sponsorship. We will
Extremely
cheap. We will do it multiple times into the future. We will put aside the weird thing you have about, unionization in your people. It's fine.
Yeah,
we
you
won't
might
even
exploit
mention
your
that.
workers a tiny. No.
We won't. No. We won't even. It does.
Mars?
You didn't hear it from us.
That's where I want to be.
That's where I want to be, and who's going to take us there?
You know how I'm going to get there?
How?
My Tesla Roadster.
I'm just gonna get the Cybertruck and tilt it upwards, and then just turn that thing on and floor it. That'll take me straight to Mars.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Mm.
We've got to get this in front of Elon Musk.
Yep. So, tweet at Elon Musk. Send this episode to him. He'll enjoy it.
Hashtag Elon Musk.
Hashtag Elon. Come on
He's
the pod.
crazy on Twitter.
He's mental.
We can do it.
I think.
We can just DM the fuck ton out of him.
Anyway, back to the show that we cannot seem to be actually focused on this
No,
episode.
I want to talk about Candace's clothes, the
Righto.
costume.
Mhm.
Where did she get it? I actually have a theory.
Tell me your theory, because I have no clue.
Tom Cruise. It's Tom Cruise Perry's costume.
Oh my god!
It's one of his first prototypes.
You're so right.
She somehow got in to one of Perry's secret entrances. She was gone a little while, and she found one of Tom Cruise's Perry costumes.
That makes so much sense.
It does make so much sense. It's what Tom Cruise
But
is
of course,
wearing right now.
the reason that he's wearing body paint for the final version is because he deemed that wasn't going to be good enough to jump from a helicopter in.
Yeah, no, it's hard to jump in a fursuit. Like,
Yeah,
it's hard to
exactly.
do anything in a platypus costume. Candace struggles a little bit, tiny bit, not much. But still, that's where she got it from.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. We love
so
to
much
see it.
easy. So much easier.
Yeah, exactly. Steal Tom Cruise's stuff. I'm down for that. Meanwhile, with Doof and Perry,
Yep.
Perry doesn't even bother to thwart Doof in this episode.
No.
Because Doof's plan isn't evil.
Yeah, there's no nemesis. There's no... Where the fuck's nemesis? Used to be that
I was
thing.
in an evil all day, but now I think that someone's gonna get in my way. Yeah, there's someone in my life who doesn't want me to exist.
Which is banging. But Perry's not that person anymore.
Yeah, Perry's just like, I don't care.
You're
anymore.
sad.
This is you just. Okay.
He just gives him the "you're sad" look, and
Mm.
it really hurts Doof.
Yeah.
He's like, "Thought me, Perry.
Mm.
Thought me."
The plan that Perry deems not worth thwarting is Doof has spent many years of his life learning to speak whale because a girl rejected him.
Yeah,
for a
no,
while.
but we can't talk about the traumatic backstory in this because, as our tradition is,
We don't discuss Doof backstories on this show.
because
If
it
you
is
wa-
worth watching the
Exactly.
episode.
They are the best parts of the entire show, and if you want to experience something that amazing, go watch the show. It's the best show ever made. Go watch it.
Please
It's good.
do.
But we get a killer Doof backstory.
Yep, and we get a killer one in the next one as well. I want to
Mhm.
mention it now so we don't have to mention it again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he learns whale,
yes.
which I think is quite impressive because I don't think we've actually got the vocal range to do whale. Because
Yeah.
do you know how far whale noises go?
Quite far.
They go like kilometers.
Mhm.
They just make fucking huge noises in water.
Have you heard of the loneliest whale in the world?
No.
There's a whale that scientists have been tracking for quite a while that was born maybe like with a defect or something like that. So it sings at a frequency that other whales can't hear. So it's traveling the oceans alone and it's
No.
calling out for friends, but none of the other whales can hear it. So it's just gonna keep swimming around alone.
Because the
forever
ocean
and then
is
die.
a big place.
Mhm. So it can't find any other whales. So it hasn't seen any other whales since it left its pod to go find other ones. And it's just swimming around.
That reminds me of Doof.
That does a bit, yeah.
Yeah. That's sad.
The only other thing for this episode, Candace's mental break is getting worse.
She is.
She's going insane.
You can't wear a Perry costume, stand on top of a very tall bed, and just whatever she said to that egg. It's following through from the last episode. She is getting insane.
And that's why people are like, Candace finally goes insane over one little thing in Candace Against the Universe, and it doesn't make sense for her character because she's dealt with things way worse than this, and
No.
she hasn't gone insane. No,
She's been breaking for a
progressive.
while.
This has been a long-term thing.
Just watch all
And-
4 seasons. You'll slowly see her mental state just
And-
crack.
Candace Against the Universe is right towards the end of the Phineas and Ferb canon, which means she just gets to a point and she just breaks over a little thing, and that is sometimes just how it works.
That is fine. That is how it's done.
Mm.
I was watching a comedian.
And that's what happened with me with homework. No assignment broke me. I just stopped doing it one day, and then didn't do it.
It
2 years.
wasn't the assignments that break you. It was the core tasks. It was the task.
I was mid-sip, and you said core task, and it was like PTSD, war flashbacks.
For
Don't
those who-
ever say those two words together again.
For those who don't understand, at school in English, our teachers were worried about us not doing homework, which, to be fair, we didn't
We
do.
weren't.
Yeah, we were not doing it. Anyway, so they made mandatory homework, which were called CT, because
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the
Thank
words.
you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it to myself as well. And I'm going to be honest, it didn't work because kids still didn't do it.
Yeah, I just
and they
didn't do
get
them.
in trouble
Mm.
because all it was basically a small assessment, and they were just going to do it, and then they'd properly mark it, and you'd get a result. But it was just
Why would you set those?
you'd get them on
So-
like once every 2 weeks. I don't know.
We just didn't do it.
I did because I was a good kid.
Well,
And also, I had a lot of fun with them. There was this one about discursive texts, which were like texts that are not really opinion pieces, but they're not really other things. And discursive texts are really cool. Anyway, and they were like, you can play with anything. You can talk about stuff. It doesn't have to be opinionated. It doesn't have to be structured like a normal essay. So I decided to change the type of structure throughout it. So it started as a discursive text. No, it started as like a persuasive speech. Halfway, kind of a little bit of discursive. And then it turned into a narrative, which apparently is bad writing. I don't know. I think I'm just more advanced for them.
I remember the whole thing about discursive text because the teachers would set us this thing and they'd be like, it's a discursive text, which means that you don't have to follow a structure. And the way that they explained it every time without fail was it doesn't have to be anything specific. You're allowed to take it in different directions and do something outside the realm of a rigid structure.
Yeah.
And I was like, sweet. So I'd do that and they'd be like, no. And I'd be like,
Yeah.
what?
What they want was kind of just a persuasive, but more
Casual.
informal, persuasive.
They could have said, but they didn't.
No, they wanted to be, and I'm like, well, you wanted fluidity. You wanted it to be fluid. How about changing mediums?
Yep, that's pretty fluid. Easy.
Yeah, pretty darn fluid.
I would have
Can you
given you
get
an A,
more
Joe.
flexible than that?
See,
I don't think you can.
we used to be at school doing annoying assessments and having mental breakdowns, and now we're sitting in a booth with a beer talking about a cartoon. Cheers to that.
Yep. And also having mental breakdowns.
We love to see it. Move on to the next adventure.
Want to mention the girlfriend that features in Doof's backstory is living like Jonas.
Yep, 100%. And if you want to know what the hell that means, go watch it.
Yeah. Anyway, all good. Next one, gaming the system. I'm up for the synopsis. All right. So Phineas and Ferb are watching Buford play his game on, and I'd like to say PS Vita. It's not technically a PS Vita.
See, they've deliberately fused a bunch of consoles together because it doesn't have the dual screens like the DS.
No.
But it has the D-pad, which is actually trademarked by Nintendo. I don't know if you knew that, but the D-pad is owned. Yeah, no, the D-pad is owned by Nintendo, and then also it had 3 multicolor buttons.
3.
Yeah, and they were
But
they were
4.
red, green, and yellow. I took specific notice of this. So it only had 3 buttons. The Game Boy Advance had 2. Classic Game Boy had 2. Newer consoles have 4.
I can't
None of
believe-
them have 3. The colored buttons is an Xbox thing, so I'm at a loss. I don't know what this thing is.
I love how the thing that we've like put the most detail in and attention is what game controller they're using.
It speaks a
No,
lot to the
but the
fact that
thing
we
that-
both paid attention to that
yeah,
without
the thing that
organizing
threw
it.
me off the PS Vita was the camera.
Yeah,
It has a camera.
the Game Boy had a camera.
Yeah,
No, a peripheral Game Boy camera. It was like an actual thing.
Oh,
you could buy.
okay.
Yeah.
But the one that it reminded me the most of was the DS. It had a camera, and you would use it in some games. I played some games where you'd take a photo of your face.
Oh, like DSi. Yep.
DSi, that's it. And you'd use. I had the DSi XL because I was a cool kid.
Oh, rich bitch over here. I had a DS Lite.
Bring back Nintendo Chat. What was it called?
PictoChat.
Picto.
Oh,
Bring that back.
Bring PictoChat
That was
back.
so good.
It was so fun because you could sit in opposite sides of the lounge room with someone, and instead of using words, you could send them a stupidly drawn picture.
I want iMessages and like Google. I want normal text to be replaced with PictoChat.
100%.
That stuff was amazing.
With the drawer, oh, it was so good. You could draw like a dick and just send it across the room.
yeah, you could.
Man, it was good.
It was.
But
good
of course you
times.
wouldn't because you were 8 years old and playing a DS.
Yeah, you didn't know what a dick was.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
if you did,
You
like
didn't get the joke.
You didn't own a DS.
Yeah, exactly. You
Yeah,
were like,
exactly.
You weren't that. Yeah.
Anyway, they're playing Jump and Duck, which I think is a bit of a reference on, well, just platformers in general, but also how Mario was originally called Jumpman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Jump and Duck sounds like a terrible game, to be honest. So after Candace drops a silly comment of just like, "Oh, you're getting sucked into the video game," Phineas is like, "What? That sounds like a good idea
And
to me."
I love that because I think this is the first time that Phineas and Ferb have been goaded into using their power for something specific. Like it
They've
was
been goaded
accidental.
before, but like this is something.
This is proper. Like
Yeah.
they literally hear it and they're like, she's like, "You're getting sucked into the video game," and Phineas is like, "I like that What the fuck did you just say? I like that shit.
No, he was just like, I know what we're going to do today. Which is great. Now, Candace gets into the game because, of course, she does. And my biggest question there is, why does she go outside in a towel?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
I just
wouldn't do
bang.
that.
I just like hit the door.
We live in Australia where
door.
if you go outside naked, no one's going to see you.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
The only reason you don't do that is because when a snake bites you,
It'll bite you on your dangly bits.
yeah, it'll
that's
bite you
less
on your
fun.
dangly bits. Like, that's where they aim. So if you're wearing clothes, you're a bit protected because, one, they can't see it, and two, hopefully they'll bite the clothes.
And hopefully they'll see your shit fashion sense and be like,
Yeah, you know what? Even I'm not touching that. Oh, my life. Anyway, she goes out in a towel, which is a bit weird. I wouldn't go out in a towel with my little brothers and their friends. Anyway,
that'd be a bit weird.
you know what? We ain't here to.
We're not
here to judge.
I'm not going to go near Billy's friends in a towel. Yuck.
Also, that towel covers like. Anyway, goes in a towel, gets sucked into the game. Yep, smashes
has to
it
complete the entire game in a towel with a hairdryer.
with a hairdryer.
Sick.
First,
Well
she
done.
asks Phineas for cheat codes. He's like, "We know about that lifestyle."
I respect that.
I respect that a lot.
Although I do think that I've always maintained to exclude cheat codes is to close yourself from the possibilities of dicking around with the physics engine.
Yeah,
But to use cheat codes to actually beat the game is
That's dumb.
to remove the reward system of the game and remove the balance of the game.
so
so
it's
I think
to
you
ruin what the game designers designed
Yeah.
the game to be.
you complete a game and then you dick around with the cheat codes.
Yeah, or you play GTA 5, go, yeah, no, I'm not about this lifestyle, and then
and you go mental.
you go God mode and just spawn cars and everything. Like, that's fine.
Again.
Good stuff. Anyway, so she goes outside in the tower, she gets stuck in the game, but she brings her own cheat code. That hairdryer is OP.
Oh yeah,
Have
that's
I ever
unbalanced
seen
as fuck.
an unbalanced gun? I have. It's called that hairdryer. Definitely didn't edit there. Anyway, she goes around, does well, causes carnage. Phineas and Ferb just follow. They're just here
Yep.
for a ride.
And it's a pretty straightforward adventure. She beats the game.
Yeah.
We get a little fake out death with Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, I just wrote more emotional abuse. No wonder Candace goes crazy.
Yeah, they trick her into thinking that they died. And
Well,
then
they
just
don't
come
like
back.
trick her. They just die, and she's just like, they're dead. And then they come
See-
back and they're like, Candace, what are you worried about?
See, they're not doing it deliberately,
No.
but they are definitely doing it. Like,
Yeah. Like, imagine seeing your little brother die, and then him say to you, What are you worried about?
why
I'm
do you
still
care?
here." That's
I
such a
only
dick thing to
died in
do.
your arms. Like,
Yeah, like, come on. I'm only dead one. Like, I can die like 3 times here. I have lives.
and we also get a bang in line when they arrive at the boss dungeon, which I just like to point out. Phineas looks around and immediately goes, "Nice art direction, Ferb."
Classic. I want more game designers to be respected for their art direction.
100%. I want more game designers to be respected
Full
in
stop.
general. I want to see game designers, the people who spend all their time making it so that we have time to enjoy stuff, get paid for their overtime. I know that's controversial. I know that's a bit insane. But I would like to see, across the board, them not
Anthem?
crunching for no reason.
EA, aren't you a wonderful company?
Can I just say, EA, if you want to sponsor us, don't.
Yeah, no.
I'll never turn down a sponsor. Like, we're pretty flexible with the moral questionability we'll do for a sponsor.
Elon, sounds great.
Elon will do it for you. We will do it for anyone who's a little bit evil. But EA, you can get fucked.
No, yeah, you can get
No.
royally fucked.
If I see sweeping change in the way that you conduct your policies, then you can sponsor us. And until such a time,
if
you can get
we're
out
a
of
part of that sweeping change, we hear what leads EA coming out of the shithole it is and exploiting gamers for money and just making like terrible things. I'm down for that.
I'm down for that, yeah.
But we won't be.
Because they won't.
Yeah.
Dislike EA. Anyway, back to the show. Over with Perry and Doof.
Yes.
We meant to talk about this. So we start by Perry finds out that Doofenshmirtz has been researching satin, silk, and velour.
Oh no, the worst.
The worst. Yeah, Monogram seems to just like it. And I was like, what's velour? So I Googled it.
After you went on a little Twitter thing.
Yeah, I was...
Because imagine watching Phineas and Ferb with your friend, right? All right. Imagine this, right? And then you hear Monogram say and velour, and you're like, oh, I'm not sure what velour is. You know what I'll do? I'll pause I'll pause the show.
So
I
far,
don't
so
mind that.
good. I'm liking this logic.
Yeah,
Yep.
I like this logic. I like to write notes. Gives me a bit of time. Gives me to do a bit of research.
So we pause it to just
We
take a
pause it.
second to get some notes.
Yeah, and then you go on your phone. And I'm like, all right, he's Googling Velour. That's what he said he was doing. He said, oh, I'm going to quickly Google that. Pauses the video. And then about, I don't know, 3 minutes later, when I'm just like, oh, are we ready to play? You're like, oh, yeah, I'll just Google that now. And what the fuck were you doing?
I was on Twitter.
What are you doing? You can't press pause on a video, pick up your phone and go, I'll Google it and look at Twitter.
My phone is color organized. Like everything's organized by color. And I went to the blue section because Safari is blue.
Oh my God.
And I was going to give it a Googs. And Twitter was also blue. And I was like, I'll just check Twitter for 2 or 3 seconds.
Why? Why would you though?
I don't know. I hate myself too. Don't worry. So I clicked on Twitter and I was like, surely this will just be a quick detour. You know, like I do every time I click on the Twitter icon. And as always, it was not. Because it never is. But I always pretend it will be.
You know what's the worst thing about this?
What?
I know your iOS, how you've done your pages, and I know one of them's black, and I know one of them has a quick search Google thing which doesn't have a Twitter on it, and you could just fucking use that.
But I am an idiot.
Disgraced. Anyway, he makes a ball gown a nettor.
Yes. Oh, by the way, velour is that weird, really, really thin fabric that some really nice cozy blankets are made out of.
It's like satin.
It's cool to be in
fur.
a blanket of, but I would never have it on clothing because once you put your hand on it, it like records handprints. Like it changes. It goes slightly dark or slightly lighter depending on
I'm
which
up
way you
for
rub
drawing penises on people's backs as the next man.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be that man with the penis on my back. So if you really want a velour dress, you can go for it. But I think it would be a really shitty material.
I 100% agree. All right, it's getting crazy hot in this booth. Let's bring it home.
Okay, so he
Ball
makes a
gowninator.
ball. He makes a ball gowninator. Now, it's a cool idea. Like I like how he shoots people and makes them in a ball gown, and it means that Perry is trapped because it's hard to fight in them. Fair. There's just one little, not misconception, like a little step that he's missed there. Go into business. Make a business.
Yeah, sell ball gowns.
You know how long it takes people to get ready for a ball?
Yeah.
Especially just putting the dress on can take like 30 minutes.
Go into fancy clothing sales.
With a push of a
because
button.
you are able to make dresses, you are able to put people in them instantaneously.
And make the dress instantaneously.
You are like you could literally be walking around. You could be like you could undercut the hell out of them. People are like, I'll give you a dress for $1,000. He's like, all right, I'll give it to you for $5.
Yeah, and
You just go around
boom.
like
People
blast
aren't
everyone.
gonna complain.
Oh,
Because this is a pretty gamey heavy episode, I'll bring it up. Loot boxes. People go wild for that shit. Just make that, but with ball gowns. It's like, what will you get? I don't know.
What colour are you
shoot
gonna be?
Let's find out. Wait, pay me $300. You're ready in 3 minutes.
easy peasy lemon squeezy.
No one's going to have the same dress.
Because it's a wholly original creation just for you.
What are you doing, dude?
But
Make
just like,
money.
no, I'm going to use it to embarrass everyone else.
Which, to be fair,
Funny.
is not the worst thing. I do love how it's the selfish pity. And if you want to know, we've already brought that up. But I do love how it's out of like selfishness. He's like, I felt embarrassment before. So now everyone else is going to feel it except me. I will be the most manly man. Not a big fan of manly man. Am a big fan of ruining everyone else to make yourself feel better.
100%. I agree with that. The only other thing I wanted to bring up, Perry is like trapped and his hands are tied. So he gets out by turning on the saw blades inside his fedora. And I'm like,
That was a good sale. Whoever sold him that.
Yeah. Whoever sold him that fedora, they're probably the sort of person that speaks platypus.
Oh, so you meant you wanted a fedora with the blades in the rim? Oh, and it activates without hands? Yeah, we gotcha.
100%. No, you're welcome.
I love that. And before we do finally wrap it up, I'd like to bring out Jeremy has 2 incidences where he is freaked out by not only Candace, but the Flynn family in full. Because the first one, Candace
Try
is
saying
wearing...
that 3 times fast. Flynn family in full.
Try saying it once.
Flynn family in full. Flynn family.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I can't pronounce things. Anyway, which I can't. I've been slurring my words this entire episode. Anyway, he sees her in the mother suit, as she called it, And he's just like, yeah, no, that's fair. Why not? I can have a crazy girlfriend in a Perry suit. That's fine. And then the second time is she's dressed wonderfully in the ball gown that was just worn by a middle-aged man. And it's probably... Or was it worn by Perry? Which one was it?
What was it?
No, it was worn by Perry. You know how she gets the gown?
Yes.
That was just worn by a
Perry.
platypus.
Yeah. And she doesn't seem to care.
Yeah, no, she's... That would be
But I
weirdly
honestly
stinky.
think a platypus wouldn't shed much because they have very, very thin fur.
Yeah, it's actually... Yeah, it's pretty small
Very,
stuff on.
yeah.
Yeah, anyway. But the thing that freaks him out, which is fair enough, the entire family, like the kids, are also wearing ball gowns.
Mm.
And he's just like, you're all dressed up. Okay, that's a red flag.
Yeah. I'd be like, what's going on here?
Can you imagine, like, first of all, taking a girl out? Ha 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 ha. Funny.
Funny.
But going out to a dance, again, funny, because COVID. But then you go to
Dancing's
a house,
illegal.
you go to pick her up, again, funny, because I'm a waste of society and don't have a license. But let's
This is just thing you can't do after thing you can't do for you. This is like
the thing I can't do.
you've had dreams that are more realistic than this scenario you're putting forward.
100%. Anyway, you walk in and she's wearing a wonderful ball gown.
And so is the entire rest of her family.
And so is the 4 other members of her family. I'm out.
Yeah, that's a red flag. I'll be honest.
I know my dreams are coming true, but that's like a...
That's a red. That is like a flag as red as could be.
Because like you're just like, who? I'm just taking
'Cause, like-
her, right?
Because okay, I'm a believer that clothing is clothing. Wear whatever the hell you want, right? But they're all dressed up. That's the bit here that's
Yeah,
weird.
they went to
They're not
effort to
coming.
get there.
They're not coming to the dance.
Are they implying they're coming to the dance? Oh, I don't want them to
I don't
come to
want my family to come to dance that I'm going to be taking a girl to.
Especially not wearing ball gowns. I don't want them to
All of them wearing ball gowns. That's a bit
showing.
weird.
That's crazy.
And also all of their like friends, like the 9-year-old little brother's friends,
Yeah, it's
are
the
also
neighbors.
wearing ball gowns.
The neighbours are coming. I don't have enough seats in my car. I'm just here to pick up her. Get out of here.
Imagine you driving a car. That's hilarious.
Oh, fuck, I hate
This
myself.
boy failed his peace test.
You can get out of here. We can all get out of here. I hate this booth. It's so hot.
Yeah, it's getting warm.
And it's with you.
Let's plug
Ugh.
some shit and get out of here.
Yeah, all right. What are we going to plug?
Hit us up on the Gmail.
Yep. I'll plug-
Implications of Phineas and Ferb at gmail.com. We haven't heard from anyone. We want to send us a cheeky email, ask us a question, do whatever. We would love to hear from you. Go to Instagram.
Yep.
You can also hit us up on Instagram, Implications of Phineas and Ferb.
Yep.
We're on there.
Go to Apple Podcasts and favorite it. Was that?
Yeah,
is that what
favorite it. Yeah, we
Some
got
guy favorited our
Yeah, we got
podcast.
2 favorites. Hold on, I will read out the names because I feel like if
You
they're
are?
favoriting our
While you
podcast,
do
they
that-
deserve a little thing.
I'm going to talk about YouTube.
Mhm.
Go on YouTube. Algorithm might actually like us.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We've been getting like only a couple views for like the people that are aware that it's on YouTube and like using YouTube to stream podcasts. Then all of a sudden we got 60 on our most recent one.
Which
I
doesn't
don't
make
know.
any sense.
Yeah, where did those come from?
Imagine
I think
having
we've-
60 people
We've
listen to you.
appeased the algorithm gods. Anyway, Trayson and Max favorited the podcast. Trayson and Max, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
You're
I
a
hope you're
great
listening.
person.
You can write into us. Say hi. We'd love to hear from you.
Please do.
Favorite on Apple Podcast. Leave us a cheeky review.
We
and
might get on Twitter just so we can get up Elon Musk.
Yeah,
so
exactly,
He can finally
so we can,
sponsor
like-
us on Tesla.
We can be like, Elon, have I got the deal
Have
for you?
we
$69.
got the meme for you?
It would be funny.
And you know what? If he gives it to us in USD, that's like thousands of dollars. We're sorted.
With like exchange rates, that's like at least $400.
like easy.
I would say for
20. We both caught on to that. All right, that's enough.
That's enough. Thank you so much for listening.
Of Phineas and Ferb.
I know what we did
Listen
today.
to it whenever you can.
I know what we did today. You meant
I
to
know
say.
what I did today. Yeah.